Hi there. My name is Diane Windsor, and I'm the founder of Motina Books Publishing. We are a small independent publisher located in North Texas. It's our goal to help independent authors take their idea of their book, take their dream, and turn it into a reality. We bring that book into the world and make it available to millions of readers. Today, I want to take the opportunity to introduce to you a wonderful author. His name is Gordon Bonnet, and he lives in upstate New York, close to Ithaca, New York. I have the honor of publishing his latest book entitled Descent Into Ulthoa. This is a very creepy science fiction book about a man who goes looking for his missing twin brother, even though he has been told many times not to enter the creepy woods. I hope you have the opportunity to read Descent into Ulthoa, and now I'd like to give you the opportunity to learn a little bit more about Gordon.
One of the most common questions I get asked is, where does your inspiration come from? The problem is, the easiest answer is, hell if I know. Most of the time, my stories come from one single powerful or perplexing image that strikes me like lightning from who knows where, and that I then have to explain. A good example happened a few years ago. I got a sudden image of two guys, total strangers, who meet in a bar. The bar has dark wooden tops. It looks more like an English pub than it does like a typical American bar. And the waitress, a pretty blonde, brings them both the pints they ordered, and both of them had ordered Guinness. This starts a conversation about what? Well, I had to write the story to find out. It eventually became my short story, The Hourglass, which a friend of mine described as the single most brain-bending short story she'd ever read. All from a single, rather prosaic image that came from nowhere. Descent into Ulthoa happened rather the same way. A couple of years ago, my wife and I had taken a vacation in Cape May, New Jersey, and we were on our way back. It's about a 7-hour drive from Cape May to here in upstate New York. And I was driving. I do most of the long-distance driving. My wife's the city driver. And she was dozing in the passenger seat as we were driving down the highway through the Pine Barrens. And all of a sudden, a line came to me. Claver Road doesn't end. It withers away. I don't have the first idea where that came from. I don't think I've ever seen a Claver Road. But there it was, this image of an asphalt road, country road, that eventually turns into a dirt road, that eventually turns into a parallel set of wheel ruts, and then just stops underneath the eaves of a spooky-looking forest. Why were the road and the forest significant? I don't know. All I knew was, whatever this forest was, people never stay there overnight. The whole thing had seriously scary overtones, so when I got home, I wrote the first few paragraphs about the road and the sinister woods at the end of it, and then I had to write the rest of the story to find out why it was significant. I'm making it sound easy, as if those lightning strikes happen when you call for them. The reality is actually that it's a lot of work. As Jack London put it, you can't wait for inspiration. Sometimes you have to go after it with a club. But in the case of Descent into Ulthoa, what eventually came out was a dark tale with overtones of H.P. Lovecraft. Lovecraft was one of the formative influences on my writing from very early on. And a lot of the nods to Lovecraft in Descent into Ulthoa are obvious. Cult survivals, stone edifices, people who disappear because they know too much. But I've thrown in a good many Easter eggs for the true Lovecraftians in my readership, and I hope they find them as amusing to read as I did to write them. And in any case, I hope it goes way deeper than a scary tale. Descent into Ulthoa is at its basis about two brothers and their loyalty to each other, and how far you would go to rescue a loved one. It really is at its heart a story of courage and selflessness. I've been asked if I write primarily character-driven or plot-driven stories, and I write speculative fiction, so a lot of it has to do with plot, but my contention is that every story is a character story. If you don't care about the characters, you won't care about what happens to them. Here, I hope that the main character's unswerving devotion to finding out what happened to his identical twin brother will make him a sympathetic enough character that you'll truly care what happens to him, and that will keep you reading. Descent was a fun book to write, and I hope it's equally entertaining to read. There are a few twists and turns in it that I'm not going to give you any hints about, but as a friend of mine put it, fasten your seatbelt and get ready for a wild ride. As far as future inspirations go, even if I can't control when they arrive, at least I can facilitate their appearance. As Louis Pasteur put it, chance favors the prepared mind. There are a lot of brain-clearing activities that I use: running, swimming in my pond, and sometimes just sitting and absorbing the natural beauty of the place where I live. And this place actually does have a rather spooky ambiance, doesn't it? I wonder what's at the bottom of that pond. I guess I'll have to wait till lightning strikes to find that out.